Welcome back, folks. On this show, we're kicking the year off with a really special guest. His name is Ellis Yan. He is in charge of TCP. He's back. Ellis Yan is back. And you know what? He ain't taking any prisoners. Ain't that right, Greg?
That's right. He's here to stay. Let's go.
And if you know what? If you don't know who Ellis Yan is, well, if you don't know, now you know, son. He makes a hell of a lot of light bulbs. That's right. I think on the show he talked about 3.5 billion CFLs, Greg.
Crazy, yeah.
Whew, that's crazy. So I'd like to tell you that Ellis was gracious enough to sponsor this episode. So this episode of the podcast is brought to you by Technical Consumer Products, Inc. That's TCPI.com, baby. Go to TCPI.com, especially if you're a lighting distributor and you need access to everything. When you say, Greg, they almost have everything.
I would say for sure. There's someone that we've personally done, or my business has done. We've done a lot of business with over the years, Premier Lighting, with TCP. And the reason being is that they have a lot of product and they have all of the color temperatures you need. So you don't have to think, and that's what I like. I can sell somebody an A lamp or a par lamp or a tube or a fixture, and they've got everything covered. They've got multiple wattages, kelvins, everything. Great product. They've been in business now a long time. They back it. They have great service to go with it. So I don't know what more you can ask for in a lighting manufacturer than what TCP offers.
You know, and not only that, though, but, you know, you call up TCP, and I remember calling them. I had a big order, so I called them up, and they're like, what's your stock on this? 250,000. Whoa, mackerel. That's a lot of stock.
Yeah, of one item.
Of one item. Yeah. It's like, whoa.
Yes.
And they were, the other thing today, just today, one of my reps came to me. He's like, I need to get, nobody has stock on this 2x2. I need it in 35K, and I need a 2x2, a 1x4, a pot light insert, and a 2x4, all 0 to 10 volt dimming and all the same color. I said, call TCP. I had it all. So
sure enough,
I'm glad they're sponsoring the Get a Grip on Lighting podcast. And Ellis, thank you for coming on the show. Also, don't forget, Reno, folks. Come on down to the National Association of Innovative Lighting Distributors Conference. We are the biggest, smallest little lighting association in the business, something like that. And Reno's the smallest, biggest something in the world, too. So if you come on down to Reno sometime in April, I think it is. When is it, Greg? April what?
Good question, but mid-April.
Mid-April, something like that. Go to the website, naild.org. Greg and I are already booked. We're in. We're going. We're going to be there. We're going to be recording there. It's going to be a great convention. Come on down, folks. But for right now, check out Ellis Yan, baby, the king of the lighting business. Welcome to the Get a Grip on Lighting podcast, Ellis Yan.
Thank you for inviting me.
Say hi to Greg Eric.
Hi, how are you?
Good, Ellis. Thanks for coming on. We're excited to have you.
Sure. Yeah.
So, Ellis, tell me, where were you born in China?
I was born in Shanghai, China. So actually, I at that time was really in what we call red China. It was very, very red, complete under the old regime of the Communist Party. It was pretty horrible at that time over there.
Did you live through the Cultural Revolution?
Yes, I did. Not just I did. I was sent to the farm for 8 years. I was working in the rice paddy field for 8 years. Every day, we didn't have a clock, so all we had is a sun. When the sun comes up, we get out of bed, go to work in the field. When the sun goes down, we come back home. So that was the life for 8 years.
Did you eat any meat?
No, meat was kind of very luxurious food at that time. What we had was rice and hot pepper.
And so you spent 8 years there. When did you?
Yes.
When did you decide? How did you get out of that? Like how did? What's the story behind that?
Yeah, the story was my mother's family was split at the 1949. One or two of my aunts, one of my aunts and one of my uncle were moved to United States before 1949, and my mom and our family were there. So that's how the family split it. at 1949. Half of my mother's family in the States, half my mother's family in China. So at 1973, when Nixon opened up the door, when the U.S. and China started talking, my aunt, after that many years, come back to China to visit the family. That was the first time I met my aunt. At that time, I was in the farm. It took me 3 days to get back to Shanghai, which was my hometown. And that was only 4 hours before my aunt took off back to States. So my aunt asked my mom a very simple question. What happened to this boy? He's supposed to be in the school. Why he end up in the farm? Obviously, she didn't understand what was happening over there. So she told my mother, say, you know what? This boy needs to come to States to study. That was 1973. However, the door was not completely open. That thing lasted for 6 years until 1979. I had an opportunity and come to United States to study.
Wow. And that's like going to heaven.
Oh, it's better than heaven.
I bet. So are you an American now, Ellis?
Yes, I'm an American citizen.
When did you get your citizenship?
Oh, I think it was 1985, 86 at that time.
Okay.
I went to the school. I went to the school. I got a degree, and then I met my wife in the school, and then finally settled here in Cleveland, Ohio.
And before we get into lighting, which we're going to get into,
Sure.
is Deng Xiaoping the greatest Chinese leader of the 20th century?
Yeah, that's
Yes.
correct. Without
Good answer.
Deng Xiaoping, I would not be here talking to you.
So
Okay, that's for sure.
when did Deng take over, and when did he set up those economic zones in China? When was that?
I believe he took off. He actually went through twice. First time he come out in the middle of 1970s. Then he went back to the normal life. Then he come back again at the 1978, 79. That's at
yes.
78. After Mao died, and then he started this new revolution. And at that time, it was incredible because the entire China never ever experienced so-called a capitalism style of the life. And I would say today, people in my generation really appreciate exactly what he did. Again, without him, I would not be in the United States. I would not have this American dream. I was not able to settle, have a wonderful family here. I might be still in the farm.
It's interesting because I think he said one line I read by him that was powerful. He said, "To become rich is glorious," and I thought that was interesting.
At that time, I mean, let me put this way: if this sentence was being said by somebody else 10 years ago, that person will end up in jail.
So when Deng said it, it was a complete paradigm shift for the Chinese.
Oh yeah, absolutely, completely. Yes.
Okay, so now Greg's going to bring it back to lighting. Thank you for sharing that story.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I think it's important to know because Ellis, you are an icon in this industry, and it's good to hear some background. I didn't know any of that about you, and I appreciate Mike asking you, and I think other listeners will as well. And thanks for sharing that. But let's get into lighting. So how did you started TCP, and how did you get into that?
Okay, we back. I was looking for opportunities. I thought the lighting could be one of them. And I hooked up with somebody from GE Lighting. They come from GE Lighting, start another company in Cleveland. Let me put it this way. Cleveland has had and has lots of opportunity here in terms of lighting because of GE Lighting. So there's a lot of talent in Cleveland. There's a lot of opportunity because of that. And I was very fortunate, able to connect with some of those people. And then I thought that's really cool. Lighting could be something very unique. That's why we started TCP at 1993. So TCP was established at that time. So from 1993 to today is
1993 till today. So you've had some serious growth from that, from 93 to today. Tell me how your connections in mainland China, along with, because I have a feeling that your connections to mainland China and your connections in Cleveland were sort of the stars crossing and smashing into each other that made TCP a great company. Can you share more about that?
Yes, as you understand, I come to this country, and obviously, after you mentioned Deng Xiaoping, China opened up. So actually, thanks to my parents were heavily engaged with the trading. So both of them in the Chinese-sponsored trading companies, which opened up a lot of opportunities for me. So at that time, it was very, very new for trading. We able to identify the opportunities related to the light bulb side or lighting side. It was brand new at that time. So I was kind of ahead of everybody else, able to identify the resources, what we capable to do in China, what kind of things could be very useful for us to bring to the United States, how we establish the trade between the two countries through the light bulbs. I was a week ahead of that. But more than that, the opportunity comes in. It came in when the CFL, if you remember, compact fluorescent lamps, become popular in the middle of the 90s. At that time, we find one light bulb for spiral light bulbs. If you see way back, even a couple years ago, at all the retail store, fluorescent come out of spiral. The first spiral lamps I saw was in the 1995-96. It was the first one I saw. I thought that was a wonderful opportunity because it's just cute and very common, very cute. Like people call this is ice cream cone. You know,
sure.
That's how they're being made. However, it took me 2 years. It took me 2 years to find out where the light bulbs was being manufactured at the beginning. 2 years. At that time, it was very secretive, the bulbs being made. So after I identified that, I basically put all the technology, the house being made, and I kind of put together a group of people, start from bending glass, because all the spiral version has glass. Leslie, there is one in the showroom. You can get, I can show you guys. And how to bending the glass, how we make the products being commercial version. It took us another couple years for that. So in the 1997 and 8, we brought that spiral lamps into United States. We started commercialize this concept. From that point on, it never stopped. It just went on and on and on. And thanks to, if you guys remember, we back to the late 90s and the early year 2000s, California had a blackout. Remember that?
Yes.
The blackout really gave our energy efficient lighting a big boost, big boost. And all of a sudden, demand on that kind of products went through 10 times. 10 times. And it just, from that point out, we just kept go on and on and on, never stopped. Believe it or not, for the last 10 years, we made lots of CFLs.
You mean from 2008 to 2018? Or you're talking
I
from
would
19...
say right now, CFLs are winding down. I would say our peak time for the CFL. Leslie just brought me a spiral lamp, and I believe it just remind everybody. Remember those?
Yeah, sure.
I
sold thousands of those.
I know. You know how many we made and sold, and with your guys' help, we TCP through the late 1990s all the way to, let's say, 2010, 2011, we manufactured and sold 3.5 billion CFLs. CFLs.
3.5 billion CFLs. A half a CFL for every human being on the planet.
No. Actually, believe it or not, the opportunity is huge. Even we sold the 3.5 billion CFLs, we only able to convert up to 28% of the sockets in the United States.
Wow.
Only 28%.
Huh.
We thought we did a great job. We thought we worked day and night and never slept, but we only able to convert 28%. You can imagine how big the lighting market in the United States.
It's huge. So
yes,
the LED transition comes along, okay, and it starts. When did it start for TCP? When did you guys realize that it's over for CFL? That technology is a legacy technology. It's in decline, and TCP is 100% about LED now. When did that start?
That's start in year 2009. Okay, at that time we look into the entire LED market. We look at the beginning of the LED. Let me put it this way: the beginning of the LEDs we call power chips. Okay, which are so-called power chips is more than 1 watt. We call it power chips. Power chips using a tremendous amount of different type of the fixtures. Okay, when we look into the LED, our goal is bring the LED lighting indoor. Okay, we focusing indoor, not outdoor. Okay, in order to materialize the design for the indoor, we realized at that time we must figure out a way to make something called mid-power chips, which is half watt to 1 watt. That's why we teamed up with a Japanese company called Nichia.
Sure.
Nichia and the TCP together as a team, we developed and manufactured the first wafer with a half watt chips called 3030. That was being done in the late 2010 to 2011. From that point on, the indoor LED lighting started. Okay, let me repeat again. Indoor lighting started with the mid-power chip. Mid-power chip, which first one was produced with the TCPs all together by Nichia. From that point on, the LED started. But believe it or not, the first chip, you will not believe this, the first chip we bought from Nichia cost us 18 US cents. 18.
What does it cost? What does it cost now?
And today is 3 cents.
Ah, okay.
The same chip, exactly same chip today, in Nichia, 3 cents. But at that time was 18 cents. You can see the beginning and to today.
Yes.
How much progress being made. But that was the beginning. So after that, we also kind of look into the uniqueness LED. So we focus on the power lamps, which is directional. So actually TCP at that time designed the most powerful power lamps, which we won lots of contracts in the United States for the high-end retail stores. That's how TCP started with LED.
Nice. And I noticed that a lot of the LEDs started as a par. Is it just, I understand that LEDs are directional by nature, but at what point did it get to where they could fit in just about every form factor that they're in now?
I think as the time goes on, I would say when the time goes down to the 12th and the 13th, then at that point, okay, because LED chips, the pricing continue to dropping, which will make into the regular LED light bulbs become reasonable. Otherwise, it's just way too expensive. I think that happens in the 12th and the 13th. So at that time, the regular LED bulbs, we call SMD version, dramatically entering the US retail market at that point, okay? Which at that time, as you see right now, we're always talking about what's the pricing in the market. Every time when you're able to have a retail pricing in the market less than $5, then numbers start going up. And then less than $3, numbers start going up even higher. So that's all related to the cost of the chips. And today you will see the regular SMD LED chips, LED light bulbs is reach less than $2. That's why the market dramatically opened up.
So you have
today,
to.
I would say the LED is mature.
So exactly. So the problem with it is, so like with the cost going down, and the production cost going down, and with competition, you have to sell more and more LEDs to maintain your revenue.
That's correct. That's life. But and we have to understand the opportunity and the market start going up at the same time. Yes. Okay. We have to sell more. You are absolutely correct. But the penetration to the market has become bigger and bigger.
How
so if you look at what we do, yes, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead. You go ahead. If we look
compared to what we do today, compared to back to 2011 and 13 and 14, you're talking about 300-400 times bigger market. So yes, I mean, this is a challenge. Okay, if we as a company, if you look at the revenue, if our the revenue continue to grow between 5, 10, 11%, we actually have to sell 4-5 times more units than what we used to do at 2012 and 13. You're absolutely correct. But that's life. That's the market.
Wow. And so how? You go ahead, Greg. You go ahead.
You mentioned for compact fluorescence, you sold 3.5 billion, and you had 28% of the sockets only converted. Where do you think we are at with LED right now?
Oh, LED, I think on the LED side, truly, in my opinion, on the LED for the last few years, I think a penetration close to 30%.
30%.
Okay. 30%. Remember, if you guys look at what's happening in the general lighting market for the last few years, it just started slowing down. Is after the law banned incandescent bulbs, all of a sudden we have called halogen incandescent bulbs available in the market. That product's being continued to dominate the general marketing, general lighting for the last 3-4 years. Okay, so this is how I get excited. Okay, the 30% LED market penetration is giving. Let's just stay there. The 28% where we did it on the CFL need to be replaced by the latest LED. Plus the 40 to 50% of the halogen incandescent bulbs being outlawed, being replaced. And all of a sudden, you look at this market, you have tremendous opportunity, up to 60 to 65% is untouched. So even every day people talking about, oh, LED this, LED that, people never look at the detail. The detail of the market is just simply huge. So in my opinion today, who able to come out with the best LED light bulb, who's going to win the battle?
So you still think the battle is still continuing, or do you think we're?
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. The battle is continuing. As the battle still depend on who come out the best light bulb. I'm not kidding here. It's how we day in day out we fight for. Who come out the best light bulb? For you guys, what are you talking about? Okay.
Yeah, you do commercial and residential. What percent of your business is commercial lighting versus residential lighting?
Right now, we're pretty much around 50-50. 50-50.
And do you see the opportunity more in the residential or more commercial?
No, I would like to do more commercial. I love the commercial side because commercial is a challenge. Let's say take Las Vegas as the example, okay? It's a commercial market. Look at all the hotels, all the casinos, everything over there. They have a specific requirement by the color, by the shape, by the look. That's a challenge. A challenge turning into opportunity. That's what I love about that kind of commercial market.
So you think the opportunity is in both, or do you see one having a higher opportunity than the other, commercial versus residential, and going to LED?
Both. In general speaking, I believe 10 years from now, you will have more fixture, we call SMD, fixture LED-based products versus what we call today socket-based product. Okay, today we believe majority still socket-based. But socket-based, the fixture, eventually we believe will phase out, okay? But today, next 5 years, we believe the socket-based still will continue very strongly. However, after we will... Yes, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Great.
Oh, I was just going to say, do you think that's a good thing necessarily? Because a lot of the purpose-built LED fixtures that we've been selling, we run into issues, and down the road you need to replace the entire fixture. With a socket base, it's a pretty easy fix.
Right. Let me tell you, in my opinion, I think it should be socket-based. I'll tell you why. Okay, socket base is when the designer design a beautiful fixture with the glass with the material on it. Okay, in the past, all the fixture try to alternate it by itself, try to meet the light bulb, which we don't have lots of choices to producing the look, the light look. But today we able to produce tremendous amount different mix of the lights. That means we can make a regular fixture with a socket base, turn that into a beautiful lighting fixture. So for that point of view, yes. If you ask me how we make a fixture beautiful and easy to manufacture, still should be socket based.
Otherwise, how do you think in the future?
Go ahead, Ellis.
Are you thinking? Okay.
I think the future should be socket based because the LED based stuff, you have a little bit problem, you throw away the fixture. What if the LED technology improved? What if I can produce in different type of the colors? What if I can make efficiency start going up for the next 12 months and the 24 months? What if all the things happen? Then the LED based fixture stuck there. They cannot do a thing. But if it's a socket based, I say, you know what? Buy another light bulb from me. I have a brand new, high efficient, 100 lumen support of light bulbs will save you energy and producing the lights you need. That's the difference here.
I agree with you 100%. I think that the people that, so I call it purpose built and modular. That would be my jargon for it. I think the people that strongly push purpose built are naive to how lighting actually works. And it's not like I haven't sold lots of purpose-built fixtures, but when people say to me, oh, it has a 10-year warranty, it's going to last forever, I look them in the eye and I say, you cannot possibly be that naive to think that this fixture, the lighting source, the driver, the circuits, all that sort of stuff is going to last for 10 years in a commercial application. That's not going to happen. And some of them will, but a lot of them will burn out. And I think it's better for people to take when they can. I think there's some beautiful purpose-built fixtures, and sometimes there is opportunities to deploy them. But I think that a modular system, when you can have it, is better.
Yeah, and the people also have to understand the technology of the LED chips is continue to be developed and improved year by year. Okay, that's things people never realize it. So exactly the same chips today, we can have a better performance, better color, okay, better functionality down the road. If you have a fixed version, you stuck with it.
Now, what is your stance on warranties? We had a podcast recently about 10-year warranties and how we don't really like those. And you being a manufacturer, give us your stance on warranties, where they should be at and what's realistic.
Actually, it's very simple. People have to understand warranty depends on the performance of the chips. Okay, when we design a fixture for the simple way, a high bay, for instance, okay, we make sure the design is come from ambient temperature. Okay, it depends on the hours being burned, and we depending on the temperature of the chip. That put together, we put together warranty. Okay, now if you people want me to say, if you want 10 years. Then realistically, from manufacturing point of view, for a very responsible way to say it is, I have to limit your 10 years to the certain condition to it. For instance, I have to say this fixture has to be burned and used and lit up in a certain ambient temperature. Otherwise, I cannot warranty you for 10 years. Okay, some people just threw out this 10 years warranty. We, in my opinion, because we manufacture everything by ourselves, we believe it's very irresponsible way to do it.
I agree with you. I agree with you 100%, Ellis.
Tell people the truth.
Yes, and not only tell them the truth, but the idea, I think the industry has to do some soul searching and to say to itself, we have done such a we have done such a great job, Ellis, with efficiency gains. There is no industry in the world. There is no industry in the world that can compare to lighting when it comes to the last 15 years and efficiency gains. all the efficiency gains are in lighting. So let's put our hands up, let's pat ourselves on the back and say, you know what, we've done a great job, right? But this 10-year warranty thing is really bad for this industry, and it needs to stop. People need, yes. And as an industry, we have to say no 10-year warranty.
Right, right, exactly. You got to stop this, because otherwise we are giving people misleading information.
Yes, the industry.
Yeah. It's how the product is supposed to perform. Okay, go back on the fluorescent days. Okay, I mean a regular fluorescent driver, we only guarantee up to 50,000 hours. That's it. Why? Because the components only able to last for 50,000 hours. Okay, if you guarantee people today that today's LED driver is the same as a fluorescent driver, there's no difference. The electronic components inside are exactly the same. If you talk about 10 years, you're talking about 8,700 hours. All of a sudden, at 24/7, people think I can guarantee for 87,000 hours. No, doesn't work that way, because the components, the drivers, will not last for 87,000 hours.
Totally agree.
You see what I mean?
100%. And you know, so the fact is, you have these like, I don't know what the issue is with these other manufacturers out there, but it's almost like it's polluting the sales environment, and it's skewing the sales environment right now towards the bad companies that are willing to make these claims.
Yes.
You know, and the rest of the industry, the people that are experienced and the people that are good are saying there's no 10-year warranty. The industry, whoever it is, the IES, the Get a Grip on Lighting podcast, we need to come out and say 10-year warranties are bullshit. There, I said it.
You're right. Right. Exactly. That's why I think you're absolutely correct. Altogether, we have to tell people the facts, the reality. We have to educate people on products, how long is it going to last, because there's a misleading information out there. Everybody thinks LED will last for a long, long time, but they forgot two things in it. Number one is the electronic driver will not last for a long, long time. Number two, people don't understand. LED does last a long time, but depreciation of the LED only have a certain lifespan. In other words, if the LED losing the 20–30% of the lights is fires within the lighting industry, we consider that LED is done. It's over. So,
and I wonder how many people in the I wonder how many end users are gonna notice that, because that's what I think about all the time. Is that, you know, the L70 is this. So then at that point, does the end user even notice, or are they even going to care? And are they going to keep riding these LEDs till they disintegrate down?
I know that's a problem. That's why I think we have to do end user education on it. Otherwise, they don't understand. They don't really understand this.
You know, Ellis, I think there's a vacuum of leadership in the lighting business right now. So we've seen GE recently. There's a conditional sale to MLS. Probably MLS is probably your biggest competitor. Am I correct? MLS your biggest competitor?
Right.
So MLS, Sylvania, Philips is Signify. I feel like there's a vacuum of leadership in the industry right now. And where do we look for that leadership from, Ellis?
Oh, the leadership, we as a company, we want to stand up, tell people what the lighting is supposed to be, what the lighting products supposed to be, what is called a high-end quality of the products. I always believe in products, quality. We as a company here in the TCP, we want to set up the standard. Now, the problem for TCP is along the way, we were losing the business, because today there's so much products in the gray market, okay? But I tell my people, no, if we lose, so be it. We need to stand firm on what we believe in. We need to educate the people. What is the good products about? That's what we want to do. I believe, you know, the end of the day, we believe people still love to have a good quality product. That's what TCP stands for right now.
And what do you think in the future now, with a lot of these going back kind of this 10-year warranty deal? A lot of the companies are the smaller companies that Are they going to be around in 5 years, in your opinion, or is it going to be mass consolidation of 90%?
No, I think there's a mass consolidation on both sides. I believe China side, right now, China side is a mess. There's so many manufacturing going on over there. Sorry about that. We have, I think for the next couple years, I would say 50% of the Chinese lighting company, LED, will disappear. Okay, that's number one. Number two is, if you look at it today, the majority of the company out there, they're kind of go through consolidation of purchasing. They really do not manufacture anything by themselves. So that's very difficult for people have a new innovation to come in. So anybody has the new quality, able to have a new design of the chips all the way to the finished end products. If like we do here, we believe they'll really slowly push a lot of people out from the China side. That's what I believe. I would say our next couple of years will be 50% of company will disappear slowly. 50%.
Now there's good. Okay.
Issue. There's no secrets in the industry. Okay, in the China. You just mentioned MLS. Okay, MLS in the industry standard out there. When you mention MLS start with making Christmas lights. Okay, that's what they do. They did an excellent job on Christmas lights. But let's say the quality between a Christmas lights, a very high-end fixtures, there is a so big difference. Christmas lights, as long as you light up, you don't have to worry about a Kelvin temperature. You don't have to worry about a life. You don't have to worry about anything as long as light up. So all of a sudden, people have that kind of concept, okay, and enjoy big company. You can imagine what the influence and the impact with from Christmas lights perception point of view going to impact the high quality products. You see what I mean, guys? So, and unfortunately, it happened, okay? Unfortunately, the big US company, okay, being bought out by the Chinese company. So that caused us problem in terms of how we stand up, who are going to take a leadership. So it is a fight. And we believe TCP will stand tall, stand firm, tell the truth, tell the facts, and educate people exactly how LED lights works.
That's awesome. And then one other area I want to touch on is production. And Michael has told the story a number of times on the show that him and I actually have been to your factory, whether you remember or know that. We were out in your factory in China, and we did a tour, and we saw the production lines. Do you think that we saw your automated line and we saw your line that was operated by humans? Do you feel that production is going to become more automated for LED going forward?
Okay. More and more automated. I think when you there, you saw the manual version, you saw automation version. Let me put this way: TCP at the peak time was in the, let's say, 29 to 2010 peak time. We have 20,000 employees. Okay, and then that automation reduced 20,000 to 5,000. Okay, and then today, believe it or not, we only have around 1,000 people producing the double volume as what we used to do. So today, if you look at our regular LED light bulb line, you see people roughly around 10 people, each people producing 150 light bulbs per hour. So yes, that less and less people. And I think if you have a chance, I will invite you guys go to China again. What you see, what we do today, you will be shocked, and you don't see that many people anymore. It's all machines.
Yeah, we saw rows of people sitting in lines, like right next to each other. Rows and rows and rows, and then the last one had like maybe 15 people in the last line that you had there. Let me ask you. Well, why don't we do this? Why don't you forget about China and open up a plant in Cleveland, Ohio?
Oh, absolutely. We're looking into tremendous amount of products. Right now, we're looking to the fixture side. We are designing the field. For instance, next year, the first quarter, as you know, high bay. The high bay is very popular in the United States, okay? We start with the high bay. We will make all the high bay assembled in the USA, all the high bay. Okay. And we're looking at a bunch of indoor using fresh mount ceiling fixture in the first quarter. All will be assembled in the United States. Yes, you're absolutely correct. Okay.
Okay.
I even looking study today. I'm studying. I can tell you I'm studying. I have things in my mind to process. I believe I'm also able to make the TA tubes in the United States. I'm studying on that.
I love that.
But absolutely correct.
I would rather wait. I would rather wait rather than going to China. I'd love to come see your stuff being made in the USA, Ellis.
Sure. Exactly. I tell you, I'm very confident step by step. This will be more and more should be made in USA.
Wow.
More and more. Because these days, remember this, we do modules. We have LED modules together. Let's say we have a lighting packaging for 800 lumens, 1100 lumens, 1400 lumens, 1800 lumens. So that's the modules. On the other side, we have a different shape of the fixtures. What we do is we just match them together in Cleveland, Ohio. That's how we're going to assemble it in Cleveland, Ohio. We're very, very confident. That's our big act for 2019.
And another hot topic that's in the lighting industry right now are lighting tariffs. Boom. And you probably can answer that better than anyone with all your production in China and being here. Give us a rundown.
Every morning I get up out of bed, I'm watching the news, and I read the Wall Street Journal on the one side, I read the Chinese news on the other side, because I want to see how the other side are working. I believe in this. Okay. For the first 10%, the fixture side raise, TCP hold the line. We never increase a penny. We tell our customers, say, we appreciate your business, appreciate your help. We actually, from manufacturing point of view, we figured out how to support ourselves, not to create any burden on our customers. But that's then. Okay. Now, today, the January 1st came and will come. And Trump said, well, I'll add another 15% on it. And now from the last weekend meeting, no, the weekend before on the Saturday, basically is, okay, we have a ceasefire for 90 days. Okay. That means at least we have 90 days to go until March 1st. That means that another 15% will not go up. So for that reason, we released another news to all our customers. We told everybody saying we will hold the price for the first quarter of 2019. Now, the question remains, what's going to happen 90 days from now? Okay? I'm pretty confident. I think both sides need a deal. I think Chinese finally learned Trump's style. They didn't learn that the last 2 years. They thought they can just say whatever they want to say. They can drag things on. All of a sudden, Trump said, you know what? If you don't do what we agreed upon, because what really happened was the last time, about a year ago or 9 months ago, when the President Xi come to United States, they actually offered Trump so-called 100 days plan. Okay, which that 100 days plan also relate to the improvements on the trade and this and that. However, 100 days passed, nothing happened. So they thought it's no big deal. Let's just, promise something else. And they didn't realize the current president has this style and determination. Say, if you don't do what you promise you do, I'm going to do something to you. So I think they all learned the lesson from that. So I believe the next 90 days is a dead series from both sides. And I think a chance for them to settle this is very good at this point. That's my opinion. But that doesn't mean Trump's going to take the previous 10% off. I'm not so sure about that. But at least I'm pretty sure as we're moving forward in the 90 days, they will come out something, not increase additional tariff at that point.
Well,
think about how much extra work that created for everyone. All the marketing you guys had to do and all the strategizing, pricing, planning, and now it's all on hold. I just thought about that, and how much work it's cost. Probably more than it's worth.
No way.
True, but we have,
no way.
In order to settle that, right? Let me put this: when we make the commitment to the customer, say we not increase our price, okay, and we extend that all the way to April 1st now, okay. Actually, we did a tremendous amount of work on our side. Number one, to reduce the cost. Number two, bring in tremendous amount of inventory. to make sure we have enough inventory to support it. So we did all those things on our own side to make sure we deliver what we promised all the way to April 1st. After that, we have to wait for this 90 days deal.
You know, Ellis, I think you should sit down at that table with President Xi and President Trump and cut a deal, man. I think you could swing it.
I agree. That's what I told my people. They should call me on both sides. You know what I mean? I will not charge them anything. I will tell them what to do. I mean, you know, cut a deal. You're right. Cut a deal. Okay.
You know, both sides, because it's interesting. China and the United States are wrapped in this interconnected grasp with each other right now, and both sides are trying to. It's like a jiu-jitsu match or something between the two of them, and they're trying to submit the other one. One's trying to pull this, and the other one does this, and then this person drives this warship by the. The world is becoming very, very interested, and you know, Ellis, you're right smack in the middle of it.
You're right. Exactly. I just try to survive in the middle. You know what I mean? Look at both sides to make sure I'm not doing something here, you know?
Wow,
that's good.
I think that's a good spot to call it, Yan. Ellis, thank you very much for taking the time. Is there anything you'd like to tell us before we let you go?
Oh yeah, again, you know, we would like to keep the relationship continuation with your guys. We would like to continue to inform your guys regarding to how we improve the LED chips. How do we improve, for instance, lumen per watt? Today, our light bulbs able to reach more than 100 lumens per watt, all the way to we're studying to the 150 to 200 lumens per watt. I think that kind of information through your guys to educate the people out there, to show people how the LED lighting as we're moving forward for the last couple of years. Okay, so we would like to, together with your guys, enjoy a tremendous amount of education to your viewers.
Yeah, that'd be great. We could do more shows.
Right.
We've got a whole bunch of topics we can talk.
Exactly. Yeah, if in the meantime, if your guys need a certain manufacturing video, we have that. We can send to your guys. Or if your guys, I do webinar introducing the products, a very short one, 10 to 15 minutes, specifically on each segment of the products. Okay, how they perform, why they perform that way, how we able to satisfy the needs, the demand for the designers, this and that. So we go very detailed on a weekly basis.
Very good.
You used to eat mercury on video. Now what are you going to eat? The LED chip?
I know. I'm very disappointed. I'm very disappointed. I don't know what I'm going to have for lunch. I cannot eat the mercury. I don't eat the LEDs. I don't know. I'm thinking. I will let you guys know. Okay?
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
On that note, thank you very much,
Thank
Ellis
you.
Yan. Yes, bye for now.
Thank you.
You know what? I don't know whether to talk about Ellis Yan or to talk about TCP. They kind of go together. Greg, Ellis Yan is TCP. The king is back. The return of the king. Ellis Yan is back. He's back in the lighting business. He came back. We've been chasing you for how long, Ellis? We chased you for 12 months trying to get you on the show ever since I saw that news release that Ellis Yan is back. We've been chasing you, but now you are back because you came on the Get a Grip on Lighting podcast. Thanks very much. What do you think, Greg? Come on, man.
Yeah, it's good to have, it's good to have him back. Someone I've always respected in the industry. He's entertaining. He knows lighting. And now he's back and he's here, and I like it. And his company, TCP, offers everything you need as a commercial grade lighting distributor. They have great product, great service, and they offer it in all the different Kelvin temperatures you need and stock availability. You mentioned that earlier. When you need something, you can count on TCP to have it, and if they don't have it, they can make it quick because they actually own their factories and they own them over in China. A lot of people sub out a lot of their manufacturing. TCP owns it. They own the process. They know it from start to finish, and you can count on them to help you.
You know what? I knew a couple lighting dorks that parachuted into that factory somewhere in China. It took us. We flew on this super fast train. Yeah. It was like something out of the Hunger Games. You know that train in the Hunger Games?
Yep.
Going at like 300 kilometers an hour. I know you have no idea how fast that is, but because you're miles still. But yeah, man, the return of the king. Ellis Yan is back. TCP's a great company, man. TCPI.com, baby. TCPI.com. We chased you down, Ellis. We got you. You came on the show. What an episode, man. That was one of my favorites of all time. Of course, and as usual, and as always, this episode of the podcast is brought to you by the littlest, biggest lighting association there is. It's called the National Association of Innovative Lighting Distributors. And what did they spawn? They spawned the Get a Grip on Lighting podcast, the world's #1 lighting podcast. That's right. We own it. We're the bomb. We did it. We are taking it over, and we'll continue to take it over with the best show in the world. Right, Greg?
That's right. That's what we're all about now. And to meet us and nailed, I didn't know it in the intro, but I know it now. After you wait 30 seconds, it's April 15th through the 17th in Reno. Sign up for it.
Come on, man. Come on down to the Nail Convention. You can hang out with us. And, there's a little after the day lounge that we all get together and the truth comes out and all that sort of stuff. So go to naild.org, baby, nail.org for information on joining. Come on down to the convention. Yeah, do it. You know you want to do it. Screw Light Fair. Come on, Light Fair. The NAILD conference is better. Well, I know they're both great, but you know what? Come on down to the Nail Convention and check us out. Also, I'm putting out my own show, the Get a Grip on Life podcast. Go to getagriponlife.com. If you like me, if you hate me, if you love to hate me, if you hate to love me, whatever it is, check it out. Tell your friends. But for right now, thanks for listening. We love you guys. And yeah, I was talking big stuff there, but thanks for listening. We really appreciate it. Greg and I have had a wonderful ride with all you listeners. Thanks a lot. Bye for now.
Written on the rectory wall, there's a sign there for all. If you are lost, the Lord is there to find you.